Hello everybody and welcome back to Simon's Order Academy. This is Corey.
Hey.
He's the co-master in Australia of Age of Sigmar with Joel down south, who's... I can never actually tell the difference between Joel McGrath and what's the other one? There's two of them. There's two Joels.
Joel Graham and Joel McGrath.
That's right. They're both very good.
One's usually on top table, one's usually on the bottom table. So that's how the best works.
Oh, rude. So, yes, Corey is currently one of the masters because we weren't able to have a Masters series this season because the southern states, the Mexicans, can't get the shit together with COVID. That's a joke for you Americans, if you're out there. Or I guess the Canadians making the joke about Americans, right?
Yeah, that's it.
So today we are playing Tzeentch Hosts Arcana. Host
Duplicitous. No retreat.
Which is the no retreat one, which is fine because I don't really want to fight you in melee anyway. It's a pretty nasty summoning list. It's a pretty nasty control list, I would say.
Yes, yeah. Classic blue, black kind of control sort of thing, yeah.
Yeah, and whereas mine is, I don't even know what mine is. It might be green, red.
Oh yeah, I can see green red.
Yeah, let's go green red.
Yeah.
Let's use some more Magic analogies because everybody's played Magic and knows what we're talking about. So we are playing the Vice today, which is an interesting scenario. How do you feel about that scenario?
Yeah, it's a good scenario. I like it. It'll be interesting for this matchup.
How do you feel about playing it?
No, I enjoy
against
it.
me.
Oh, against you in particular?
This particular battle.
Yeah, it should be good. It should be fun. Because of the 24-inch deploy, it means that a lot of the power projection for my army is kind of mitigated, especially when you deploy outside of 37.5 inches, which is the exact range of my portal combo.
Yep.
So it just means turn one's going to be a little bit less. But it's, like damage-wise, out for my army, it's going to be a bit low for the first turn or two. But it just gives me room and a chance to breathe, to be able to summon and put things on the board, which will basically be my win condition in this matchup, I believe.
Yeah. How many things you can get on the board onto my objectives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And with my list, it's always pushing to get 10 things a turn. That's the objective.
Yep. And that's fair. And I think that you do have a lot of power projection anyway. So it's going to be interesting. We'll come back and you'll have a look at our deployment, and you'll see the 37.5-inch gap that I've left between Corey and my deployment. So we're starting with Corey's army. So going left to right, Corey, what do we got?
So we got Kyric Acolytes acting as battle line, and then the pink horrors are battle line as well.
And
then we got blue scribes. Brave Shaman is an ally. His coalition. And then tucked behind here, we've got my general, which is the Ogroid Thaumaturge.
Yep.
And my change caster in there.
Yep.
Belly.
Yeah.
Kairos.
Yeah.
And then 10 more pinks. The 2 units of 10 pinks are in the Heartlands, so they're not your frost out things.
Can't stompy.
No stomps for me. And then with the Ogroid, he's got the +1 save command trait.
Yep. Which gives him what?
He's got a command trait that gives him +1 save.
Yep. Which makes his save.
A 4 up. Sorry.
4 up. Cool.
Yeah, it's usually 5. And then the artifact allows him to something good. Oh yes, he allows all demon heroes that are Tzeentch wholly within 9 to reroll cast, binds, and dispels.
Oh.
And then
what? That's an artifact as well. So you got the scribes to do it with a spell, and you've also got him to do it with an artifact.
Pretty much. So just redundancy in this list. And then the Herald has an artifact that every time I spend a Destiny dice on a 5-up, I get that Destiny dice back.
Okay. And do you have to roll a fresh one, or it's just the same number?
Yeah, it's a fresh one. It's like rolling a glimpse.
Okay, and so we're in Host Duplicitous, so is that the Unbind as well, 135?
No, that's Host Arcane. This one's no retreat, and for a CP, once per game, if a unit of horrors dies, on a 5-up, I get another unit back for free.
Oh, great. I can't wait to have that 5-up rolled against me. Alright, so that's the army, that's how it is. We will come back with the Cities of Sigmar deployment. Right, so there's a lot less models on my side of the board. I've got 4 units on the board, so it's basically these 3 and those dudes over there. So we've got the 2 units of Free Guild Guard. The one on the left is obviously the retinue for the general, who is the Nomad Prince. He has the command trait of Iron Oak Artisan, so he's got a 2-up armor save and he's 2+ to wound. And then we've got Big Bird. He has the Arcane Tome, but he has it with Life Surge, because people are having a whinge that I was using flaming weapons, so I've changed him to Life Surge just because it's a heal and he always wants to be healing shit. And so I've literally got 1 cast against Corey's army, which is good because if you can't beat them, then don't even try to fight them, is my analogy. So that's my deployment there. We're 37.5 inches between armies, so you can see there's quite a distance. Up in the sky as well, I've got these guys, so the 30 Sisters of the Watch, the Hurricanum, Indrasta, and Celestant Prime. So that's kind of where we stand at this point, and this is going to be the perspective that you'll have for the gross majority of the game. And Corey, you are going to be going first.
Yay!
As I'm sure you predicted that you would be. Yep. I've got Arcane right here. Corey's got Arcane right there. That's why all his guys are clustered around that. And then we've got one damned, this one's damned, and then that one up in the corner is damned. And then we've got Mystical on this one. What's that one?
Inspiring.
Inspiring and No.
Oh, sorry. That's
Sinister.
Sinister, my bad.
And Inspiring. Alright, so the end of the hero phase. I'm obviously not in range to unbind anything. We have 21 fake points.
Hooray!
So, and you even failed one, so you should have 22, but you failed a cast.
Yeah, I did, yeah.
No miscast this turn, which is sad times. But yeah, it's sad times because you're going to be summoning a shitload of models soon.
Correct.
Lots of blues to go onto the table. It's going to be a big mash in the middle of turn 4 that I probably won't be able to sustain damage over because I don't have that much DPS in this list. But we will come back at the end of the movement phase and see where all of the Tzeentch forces have moved to. Oh, and you went Ferocious Advance. Chose Be'lakor, Kairos, and the Thaumaturge, and
He's a monster.
and he's a monster because he got Metamorphosis off on him. Most of the spells don't matter. The one that does matter is that Kairos got Mystic Shield on him, and that's basically the one that matters, and Metamorphosis. And yeah, so we'll come back at the end of the movement phase. All right, so end of turn. These guys didn't move, obviously, because they're staying on the objective. These guys moved up a little bit. All the dudes moved up. They're all within 3 inches of each other to score the secondary. Over here, the pinks are just hanging out on that objective as they want to do. And oh, look, we have 10 fresh pinks. So that's another 50 points added to the... 50 wounds. 215 points added to the battle. 215 now?
215,
Yeah.
So 200. It went from an 86.
Horrors are fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, fine. Perfectly fine.
Yeah. Oh, P.S. I got a 6, 5, and a 4 back on my Destiny Doors pile.
Oh yeah, you used, what was the ability called?
So it's an artifact from my...
Is it the one you have to take?
No.
Okay, so it's an extra one.
So I take the Warlock for this one specifically, but it allows me every time I spend a Destiny Dice at any point,
Yeah.
on a 5 I get it back, and I roll it, and I got a 6, 5, and a 4.
And you used 4 Destiny Dice, and you got 3 of them back. So good, and they were a 6, 5, and a 4.
6, 5, and a 4, baby.
What you love to see is the opponent that's playing against Tzeentch. Alright, so you will score 1, score 2, but not score more.
Okay.
And you will score 2 for your battle tactic and 1 because you did it with monsters. So you will go to 5 points at the end of turn 1. And then we'll come back at the end of, probably not the hero phase because I'm really not going to do much here. So we'll come back at the end of the movement phase. Alright, we didn't do a lot. It's a very boring first turn. These guys ran to there. These guys all ran within 3 inches of each other for the monstrous takeover. Battle tactic. Got that there, so that's 1, 2 points. And then hold 1, hold 2, 3, 4. And these guys ran up here. And nothing else came on the board. So... we are going to go to turn 2, and we are going to roll some priority dice. Why don't we roll them in this crater right here? At least. All right, 4, 3. So I'm going to give you the turn.
Lame.
So turn 2 Tzeentch coming up now. All right, so into the hero movement phase, because the hero phase he just cast 20 spells and didn't miscast. He failed to cast a couple of them, but they're all irrelevant. Walk up Mystical Shield, Kairos again.
Kairos again. And then these boys now have the reroll saves and that 4 after spell.
Yeah, that
Shield of Faith.
something of Shield of Faith.
Yeah.
And what also happened is you cast the portals which have been eaten. They went over here. You then cast not Metamorphosis, the better version of Metamorphosis.
Yes.
Gift of Change. You killed 6 Free Guild Guard and summoned a Spawn. So we are about to go into the combat phase. These guys also got summoned. So the Blue Scribes used the 6, ran up there, summoned onto this objective. Oh, and you went Conquer on this objective.
Yeah, so covering this one.
So you've got this one. You've got your battle tactic, and you've got score 1, score 2, score more. So you're going to get 5 this turn. We're going to quickly do the combat here, and hopefully you don't kill my poor Free Guild Guard. And then we'll come back at the end of the turn and see where we are. But basically, the Tzeentch are just slowly pushing up the field, looking to wreck my face. Is that a fair comment?
Correct.
Okay, cool. All right, we'll come back at the end of the turn. I've covered up his face with the banner because we do not see no evil, is what they say.
All right.
So he killed one. He rolled a double one for his attacks. Killed one. Did two. Both hit, both wounded. I didn't make one of the saves, and so there's 3 guys left. So I still keep that objective for what it's worth. But I didn't do any wounds to him. So Corey is scoring 1 for this objective. He's scoring 2 for that one back there. He's scoring 3 for that one over there. And he's also scoring his battle tactics for Conquer. So you get 5. And you go to 9 at the end of turn 2.
10.
And why 10?
Because turn 1 I
Oh, you got 5 because you did it with a monster. Cool.
Yep.
So you're on 10 and I'm on 4.
Correct.
And you have 10 fate points.
Yes.
Cool. So that's free blues anyway. Corey ran out of painted pinks. It's very, very sad news. So he had to summon blues over here instead of pinks.
Yeah.
Very, very devastated about that.
I have to go paint some more.
Yeah. All right. So we will come. Nobody's let him summon like this before. I'm just here to encourage Corey to bask in his glory.
And my spikeness.
In your spikeness. In my I'm not Timmy. I'm definitely
You're
not
Johnny.
Timmy. I'm a Johnny.
Johnny.
I'm a Johnny. This is a very Johnny list. All right, we'll come back at the end of my movement phase.
Sweet.
Right, hero phase. I went Conquer for this one. I then tried to cast a spell and was told no, so I didn't cast the spell. And then we've done some movement. So these guys have all moved on to the objective. So I've currently got 17 on that objective that I have Conquer on. He's got 12 because they're worth 2. Corey did redeploy when I moved there to try and get more stuff onto it. But he rolled a 1. Aww. Sad times. So that's what happened there. These guys can't retreat. I thought they could. They can't. So they're stuck there. He's taken a wound. The Hurricane's about to hit him in the ass with his mortal wounds. And other deep strikes. We have Celestin Prime who's come down over here. Who's beelining for the blue scribes. And then we've got over here Indrasta, who is going to shoot and attempt to charge one of these guys. I haven't decided who yet, but one of them. And try and mess up in the backfield. And that's basically it. So we'll go to the shooting phase and then we'll come back at the start of the charge phase. All right, charges! These guys obviously didn't charge. We already talked about that before. Celestin Prime rolled a 10 to charge. Corey had the decision whether or not he wanted to change it.
It's not a decision.
He decided not to, so Celestin Prime went in. Hello. Hello, Gabe. How are you?
You were filming. I'm sorry.
That's fine. Celestin Prime went into the blue scribes. He rolled a 10. Corey chose not to change it. The pink horrors behind him standard shot and did 1 wound to the Celestin Prime. Over here, Andrasta moved after shooting, so she was within 3 inches of the Great Bray Shaman. She also rolled a 10 to charge, a double 5. And Corey made the very difficult decision. So basically, if I got a 10, I got into the Thaumaturge, who has 5 wounds left. Yeah. And he changed it into a 6 with Kairos so that I could only charge the Great Bray Shaman. And so that's basically where we stand. We're going into the combat phase. We're going to have Celestin Prime fighting first, and then we're going to have Indrasta fighting second. So we will come back at the end of the combat phase and see... Oh, that's very zoomed in on your bald head. We'll come back at the end of the combat phase and see what's dead. Hopefully Scribes and the Great Bray Shaman will be dead. Hopefully. Right, so, Blue Scribe's dead.
No.
Guys over there, less dead.
Hooray!
I rolled 3 2s on my to hit rolls. So, Indrasta did nothing. Face the right way. God damn it. You're fighting this guy. You ignore the Great Bray Shaman, and you fight that guy. So, I get my victory of conquering that objective.
Yep.
I get this one back, so I hold 1, I hold 2. I don't hold more, but I got my battle attack for another 4, so I get an 8. Now, this is a what we call a clutch priority roll. If I win, I'm not in a horrible spot.
You have a chance.
If I don't get this, it's pretty much game over.
Yeah, I'd say
So,
so.
I roll 3.
Ah!
2 or 1! I'm going to take the double! Hooray! We'll come back at the end of my... Do I have any more? No, I've really got nothing else to do in my hero phase again. So, we'll come back at the end of my movement phase. Alright, so we went monstrous takeover on this one because he got Bellacord and he's already there. Which is fine. These guys are here. These guys came on from the side. Hurricane moved on another further 10 inches, or just less than 10 inches, so they could stay within range. There are 7 of those dudes in range of the Herald of Tzeentch back there, who will attempt to kill him. Kill him. Cells and Prime obviously hasn't done anything, and Indrasta obviously hasn't done anything either. Except you did do heroic healing, heroic recovery on that guy and recovered all 3 wounds, which is really fucking annoying. Because Indrasta can't hit. So, we are going to do the shooting phase. We're going to have these guys shooting some pinks, a few of them shooting a herald. Cells and Prime's going to drop a comet somewhere, and Indrasta's going to throw a spear into the face of the Great Bray Shaman. So we will come back at the end of my shooting phase. Alright, end of the shooting phase. So these guys split fire, which is always a good idea. They did kill the herald to a wound, which is good. Yeah. They then killed 6 horrors here, and they killed 5 horrors here. The Hurricanum then pinged Be'lakor for 5 more, so he's on 9.
9,
right? Yep. And then he got a charge off onto these guys. He hasn't done anything the entirety of the turn, so that's a pain in the ass. But it is what it is. Yep. Cells and Prime's Comet this turn wasn't as good. He dropped it and did 1 wound to Be'lakor and 1 wound to the Thaumaturge. And then that's it. Oh, and Indrasta threw her spear and did 1 wound to the... who did I throw it at? Great Bray Shaman.
Bray Shaman, sorry.
Yep.
There you go.
So now I need to make an interesting call, and I think I need to kill the Thaumaturge. So, yeah. What are your Destiny dice looking like?
6-4.
So only the 6 can save him.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we are going to go all-out attack with Indrasta, and we're going to go with her first.
Sweet.
And we'll come back at the end of the combat phase. End of the turn. Killed some pinks here. Killed some blues there. They then did a CP to stand around and just keep fighting me, so that's what they do. Over here, I killed the Great Bray Shaman, and then the Thaumaturge whacked me back, did 2 wounds to Indrasta. But I killed a mage there, so I've killed 3 of his mages. He's still got these 3 obviously left. But now it's going to hurt because we're going into Tzeentch turn 3, bottom of turn 3. Interestingly, this charge here I tagged both units, so there's not going to be anything to shoot at my Sisters of the Watch, which is nice. So we'll come back at the end of your hero phase. Oh, actually, it's a little bit stunted now, and I have a guy in dispelling range. So,
shit.
We'll come back at the end of your hero phase this turn. How happy are you with that hero phase?
It's not the best.
He cast 7 spells. He still hasn't miscast. It's now been 3 turns of casting. Yeah. Stuff that went off. Mystic Shield went on the Thaumaturge, who's going to run away like a little pussy.
Yep.
Kairos. So I went extra Unbind on the Frosty with +1 to Unbind because of Arcane Terrain. Kairos tried to cast Portals with an 8.
Yes.
What did I roll to Unbind it?
A 9.
Oh, God, so good. And then he tried to cast Firestorm of Tzeentch.
Gift of Change.
Gift of Change. What did he roll?
I rolled an 8.
What did I roll?
A 9.
Woohoo! So I stopped 2 of his spells, and he failed. What was the one that he failed on a 4?
Tendrils.
And extra mortals.
Just
extra mortals of some sort. He did do 3 mortal wounds to the Hurricanum. Yeah. But as hero phases against Tzeentch go, I have to say I'm pretty happy with the outcome of that.
Pretty good. Pretty good.
I mean, I've still lost the game, but that makes me very happy about losing the game. So that's literally my only objective, was to unbind portals and the gift change, and I did both in 1 turn. So I'm just going to pack up and go home at this point. Objective achieved. And what did you do? You went monstrous takeover on that one.
Yeah, much takeover.
Yeah, sweet. That's basically it.
That's it.
That's it. Look at this beautiful phoenix. Definitely a Johnny. All right, we'll come back at the end of your movement phase.
Yeah.
So we have finished the movement phase. So all these guys have moved up. Everyone's moved up. Be'lakor's 3 inches away from him. Kairos is over here. They summoned in this little dude. There we go. I'll focus on him. Yeah, face him towards the enemy, please. Come on. This is a narrative game. He got summoned on. How many points was he to summon?
12, so I'm on 5 left.
So you got 5 left. Cool. We'll adjust my d20 of blood, because that's what this fucking game is, a bloodbath. Thaumaturge retreated out.
Yeah!
Importantly, Corey, what is not within 6 inches of that objective?
Fucking monster.
What was your battle tactic?
Monstrous takeover.
That's unfortunate. So, because I'm a douche, I have not allowed Corey to take it back.
Nah, that's legit. That's how you learn.
So... yeah, that's where we're at. So Corey's not going to be getting his secondary this turn. He will have a shooting phase though, and we will come back at the end of that phase. Smile for the camera, Corey. He's smiling underneath the mask. All right, end of Tzeentch's shooting phase, turn 3. There is a distinct lack of a Hurricanum here. So he dead. And then Celson Prime took 2 wounds from shooting from pinks and shooting from 5 dudes from this unit and the Changecaster. Changecaster, is that what he's called?
Yes.
Fluxmaster? I don't know what they're called.
Changecaster.
I don't know. Some Tzeentch guy. And that's basically it. So we're going to go to the charge phase. Corey, what are you charging this turn? I presume not those guys.
They are not charging.
Yep.
But considering these blues to charge.
Blues are charging?
Sisters of the Slaughter.
Yep. Sisters of the Slaughter.
Just because they're going to fucking slaughter.
They are going to fucking slaughter your blues. And that one pink. There's one pink left there. He also has to die. And are you charging with those pinks?
Yes, of course, yes.
Cool. So you do have the Destiny dice for it, don't you?
Yeah, I've got a 6 and a 4.
Got a 6 and a 4.
And a 2.
You can get them in.
I can. Oh, no. Well,
We'll just keep the camera rolling until
fuck.
you make a decision.
Yeah.
Well,
Shit, pressure!
Yep, strap in, guys.
Alright,
This is going to be like 20 minutes.
Pinks go in, those need 3, so they're in.
Yep.
Those
Take
blues,
a 5. What do they want to do?
they need a 6.
Yeah.
So I'll go a 4 and a 2 and I'll make a charge.
Cool. And so they're in.
They're in.
And I'm going to obviously stand shift for free there. So we'll come back at the end of the charge phase and do some combats. Come at it from a different angle. There we go. Beautiful. All right. So these guys did nothing. They stand and shot. They did 6 wounds. Yeah, I rolled a lot of not 4s on my stand and shoot, which was sad times. Over here, Celson Prime killed another 9 of those dudes. Corey has battle shot. What's it called? Inspiring Presence.
Inspiring Presence.
And then over here, I killed 5 dudes with Indrasta. And because Corey doesn't own enough pinks, he blues. You spited me.
Yes.
Spit at me and did 1 mortal because I saved one of them. Yep. But you didn't get your secondary. So you get score 1, score 2, score more. So you get 3 this turn. And you go to 13 to 12. And we're both out of things. So interestingly, this is where the objective's going to move to. So this next turn's actually going to be quite important in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah.
As every priority is. Let's just roll here. That's a 1.
It's a cock.
That's a cock. Roll a 1 so I get the turn. Cool. So I'm going to take the turn. How happy are you, Corey?
Whatever.
Fuck this game!
Keeps it interesting.
It does keep it interesting. All right, so the objective moves to the center. And so, interestingly, the question was, because you remove 3 of the objectives and then 1 moves to the center, the question is, who owns the one that moves to the center? Because it's done at the end of the turn. So, Corey, I'm going to get you to roll. We have 4 numbered objectives here. 5 and 6 are a re-roll. Roll to see which one is the one that moves to the middle.
Okay. It's a re-roll.
1. So objective 1 is the one here that Corey already owns. So that's the one that's going to be in the center. So he already retains control. And then we're going to come back with Cities of Sigmar, turn 4. End of Cities, top of turn 4. We've just done some movements. These guys shuffled around. These guys ran up. He flew up there. He got Mystic Shield off, funnily enough. My objective this turn is slay the Warlord. Indrasta can pile in and get him, but it's a question of whether or not it will actually work. He's gone their finest hour. So basically he needs to fail some armor saves. That'd be super. What's he on? Is he on a 4-up base?
He's a 5-up base, but he goes to a 4-up with his artifact, and he's got Mystic Shield and Finest Day. So
he's on a 4-up.
He's a 4-up.
Yeah, cool. So I need a few of those to go through. That's fine. And then basically nothing else has moved because I can't retreat. Otherwise I would have. So we're just going to drop some mortal wounds, throw some spears, do some shooting over here, and then we'll come back at the start of the charge phase. All right, charge phase. So these boys are going shooting phase first. I did 3 mortal wounds to the Ogroid Thaumaturge. I did... how many did I do to Be'lakor? 3? 2? 2 to Be'lakor, so he's got 3 wounds left. He's got 4 wounds left.
Yep.
Indrasta, this is your moment to shine. Maybe, probably not. And those guys shot off a whole bunch of those pinks. I don't know if I mentioned it, but I'm trying to bring down the Warlord, so we'll see how that goes. I probably mentioned it.
You did.
Probably mentioned it. So I'm gonna stomp some stuff, and then we're gonna fight with some stuff and see how we go, basically. And that's gonna be it. We're gonna come back at the end of the combat phase and see if I achieved my secondary. All right, we're back at the end of City's turn 4. Sad faces. I got rid of a unit of horrors, which is good. And they were battle line, and I should have said bring it down on them. Oh no, what's it called? Broken ranks on them.
Broken ranks.
I instead went for Slay the Warlord. Indrasta is on a 4 to hit and a 3 to wound. You hit with 1, and then you've used your last Destiny dice for 6 to save the Thaumaturge.
Correct.
So I don't get my battle tactic. You Inspiring Presence these guys.
Yes.
So I don't get the objective.
No points.
0 points. So it is currently at the end of my turn, 13 to Corey's. My 12 to Corey's 13.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Yeah. Fuck you.
And now it is Tzeentch, turn 4.
Yep.
He's excited, see, because he knows he's won. I mean, he knew he won before we started this game, but now he can taste it.
It's been really interesting, actually, losing the priority.
Taste it.
Yeah, and the funniest thing is if I had the models for the pinks in turn 2, I just would have had such a stronger hold on them.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, get painting, boy.
Yeah.
Get painting.
We've got an event in a week, so get some shit painted.
All right, we'll come back at the end of the hero movement phase. Coming to the end of the game now. Corey chose to do broken ranks on this unit of 3 nerds that ran over there, which is obviously a mistake on my part, because I could have just run them away there. They're not going to do anything in the middle. Yeah, they're a spawn as well. There we go. No, he killed them with a D6. He didn't kill them with that one.
No, this guy died from the spawn there.
What guy?
The fucking Prime.
Celson Prime, that's right.
Yeah.
Who's over here?
Yeah, sorry.
There you go. There's a spawn there. Yeah, so nothing really happened. He summoned 10 blues into the middle here. Everything kind of retreated out because he's a coward. And then he killed 2 Sisters of the Watch with those guys, and then killed 1 Free Guild Guard there and did 1 wound to the Frosty with all the shooting. Now we're going to go to charges. Would you like to charge anything?
Yes.
Yeah, charge Sisters of the Watch, yeah?
3, they're in.
Cool. That'll be it. I'll stand and shoot there.
You have no CP.
They do it free because they're Sisters of the Watch.
Oh, that's lame.
Anything else want to charge? No.
No, that's enough.
Everything else retreated out. So I'll do the stand and shoot there, and then we'll come back at the end of the turn. Notably, Corey killed them with a spell from Kairos, and so he's going to get his 3 points there anyway, and then he's going to go 4-5. So it's going to be, regardless of what this is, at the end of turn 4, it's going to be 18 to 12 going into turn 5. So we'll come back at the end. Yeah, I shot them. End of the turn, 18 to 12. He gets his secondary objective because he killed Battleline with Kairos, who is a monster. And you definitely have more models on the center objective than I do. The objective's actually like here somewhere, but
yeah,
it's fine. It's in there somewhere. So we're going to do the priority for turn 5 because it is important to play games out. I get a 1, roll a 1. Good game.
Great game, mate.
So my secondary is kill them. Can you kill them this turn is the grand question.
Can I kill them?
Yep.
Oh, that'd be a tough call. Probably not, I'd say.
No. 28 wounds, probably can't get them.
I don't have to evolve to get you closer, but I am within 18 of my big,
Yeah.
I can probably roll it out.
We will roll it out and we'll come back because Corey's going to take this turn.
Yes I am.
We will come back at the end of Corey's turn 5. So the end of turn 5, we've gone to, Corey's going to score 23. I am going to take my turn and literally just going to go 2 units in your half, and I'm going to get that one. And that's probably going to be the game, because I don't think I can get enough dudes. Oh, I might be able to get enough dudes.
Oh no, those blues are over there and these boys are over there. And...
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm not going to get that then, because Corey's flooded that with horrors.
Oh, and I've got another 10 blues to summon this turn as
You
well.
do.
Yeah,
You do. How many
How
many horrors is that this game that you've summoned?
2 units of pinks and
Yep.
probably 3 units of blues.
Cool. So that's basically game. So I'll get an extra 2.
Yep.
Uno, dos.
I will not deny your...
So that will be... you will not deny my secondary, so I'll get 3 more and go to 27. I will not deny yours, and you'll go to 26. And that's it. So it's a 9-point victory to Corey. So in the differential system, you would be winning by... That'd be a 15-5, is that right?
That's right.
Is that the cut?
I don't know.
1 is 0... 3 is 1,
Depends if you're doing the 1 or the
5
2
is 2, 7 is 3. It'd be a 14-6 to you.
Okay.
So, 14-6. Against this list, I'm not too disappointed with that result with the cities. I got all the rolls going my way with priorities, which is what I wanted.
Yes.
But I did not get all my rolls going my way with this bitch. She did nothing. 300 points, and she killed a Great Bray Shaman, and that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, very sad. Everything performed well, so I'm quite happy with the outcome of that game. I was never expecting to win it, but I was expecting to make you earn your points, and I think I did.
Yeah, I think I just need to paint up some pinks, so I have another blocker unit there.
Yeah.
Not getting a priority at any point until turn 4 was rough.
Yep.
But other than that, look, it all pretty
Turn
much...
5.
You turn, sorry, turn 5.
Yep.
And you've just played really well to like deny, because obviously with Tzeentch you have that 18-inch threat bubble, and with Devolve being taken out early turn 2 with her, it just meant as long as you danced around the Kairos center package, then there was really no threat for you to worry about.
No, I was hoping to get to actually cap that objective and be 2 more points towards you, but obviously that wasn't to happen. You know what? I'm an idiot. Because you know that term when I said that I would go for Slay the Warlord?
Yes.
Why don't I just put the Phoenix in your half of the table?
Because you're in combat already. So
was I?
Retreat.
I can't retreat.
Can't retreat.
Your army's fucking stupid.
I can retreat. I can retreat.
Yep.
But you can't.
All right. So 26-17 victory to the Tzeentch. Thank you very much, Corey.
No worries, thank
That's
you.
the Australian Master. That's why he's the best. Because he plays broken shit.
Because I play broken shit.
Yep. And forgets his battle tactics.
Oh.
This is the Master, ladies and gentlemen. Watch out, AOS Worlds. We're coming for ya. All right, hello everybody, welcome back. It seems that people like these. Well, I've only done it once before. I got good feedback about doing the post-battle thoughts, and so I thought I would come back and do it again now, since yesterday's game was quite interesting. Now, I'm just going to preface it by saying that at no point was I intending on winning that game. The entire agenda that I had with that game, playing it against Corey, is showing that, one, that Tzeentch are broken as fuck, and hopefully that when people start seeing, you know, that your opponent is able to summon fairly consistently over 500 points worth of models during a game, maybe the rest of the army's underpointed a little bit, or maybe those models, the casting value should be increased, maybe cogs should be changed. You know, there's lots of options that we can kind of look at to fix Tzeentch, because they are a problem. But regardless of that, they are in the meta and they are a thing, and so you are going to have to deal with them. So what I was trying to showcase yesterday was also the value of a points differential system over a win-loss-draw scoring system. Because in yesterday's game, that would have been, you know, a win to Tzeentch. Obviously, it would have been a win to Tzeentch. But because we played out for the full 5 turns, because I made Corey earn his points, and because I, you know, played the best that I could to try and take out key pieces and kind of put a stranglehold on him a little bit, he was only able to eke out a 14-6 win. Now, if I'd let him get that extra battle tactic in round 2 or round 3? Round 2, I think. Anyway, the one where he didn't put a monster on the objective, it would have been a 15-5 victory, so he would have got an extra 2 victory points that turn. And so 15-5 again against a Tzeentch list like that, it gives encouragement to the player who probably is not going to lose to still play their best and to play out that game to turn 5. Because if I came up against that list in a tournament on the Vice, and it's a win-loss-draw system, I'd probably just go, Corey, you can have this. There's no way that I'm going to win this game when you can summon 10 pinks a turn, 215 points, 50 wounds. My output's just not enough to deal with it. And I'll go to the bar, or I'll go and get lunch, or do something else. Because that's, when you're playing a list like that, at this point, there is no point with a gross majority of armies playing against that army, because you're just not going to win. And I know that that's a defeatist attitude, and I understand that, but when you're coming up against an army that you have 1 unbind, they have 20 unbind, 22 casts did he have? I think he had 22. So 3 normal, and then 6 heroes. Some of them get 2 casts. Kairos gets 3 casts. And all of those get +1 with the cogs. It's just not, like, what are you going to do? Even summoning 10 blues is pretty horrific, but when you're starting to bring on 10 pinks fairly consistently a turn, that's where it gets ludicrous. And the mortal wound output that he can do, the fact that he can create spawns. So he also created spawns during our game. He created 2 spawns just with the spell from Kairos. So in addition to the 3 he summoned blues, but, you know, if he had enough pinks painted, he would have summoned 30 pink horrors during the game, and he would have summoned to another 10 blue horrors and another change caster. So that's 645. I don't know how much blues are these days. I know they're too much. Let's just say they're 150, so that's 700 and change casters, probably 100 and something. So we got 800 and something free points during our game yesterday. You just, and you're not going to stop that magic phase unless you kill his heroes. And to Corey's credit, he did very well. He screened out. He basically had Kairos and Be'lakor right in the center of the board. So wherever I came on from the sides, I was never going to be within range of those guys with my 18-inch bows. We did catch after the game that I actually deployed to the board edge, not 2 inches on, because those mats weren't 60 by 44s. They were, sorry, they weren't 50 by 44s. There was what am I talking about? They were a 6 by 4 mat. And so essentially when you're playing on the long side, you need to take 2 inches off to make it a 22 inch half as opposed to a 24, which it used to be. So anyway, there's no way that you're getting through that. If I can't eliminate a single unit of horrors in a turn of shooting, then there's no point doing anything with them, because Corey can just Inspiring Presence them, and then the horrors are into you and you can't retreat from them. And if they're into my shooting unit, or if anything goes into my shooting unit and I can't retreat from it, that's basically game over. That's a 540 point unit that is shooting only against chaff and summon chaff. So one of the big issues was that I was like, in turn, it was either turn 4 or 5. I think it was turn 4. I said, all right, I'm going to kill a battle line. I'm going to kill those blue horrors that you've summoned. And he summoned them, so they're not battle line. And so the 2 that were battle line were the ones that were further back and that I couldn't actually get at. So yeah, so I thought that was an interesting game. Things that I could have done differently to maybe score better. I think in that 4th turn when I chose Slay the Warlord, I probably should have just chosen Savage Spearhead, so pushed into his half. I wasn't really looking at it at that point, and it was dependent on a charge, and I thought that, you know, that Indrasta would have a better chance of killing the Ogre Thaumaturge. And then she proceeded to roll 3 2s, and that's basically your battle tactic over. And so that's probably what you do turn 4, and then turn 5 I go for either kill battle line or kill the general or bring it down. So I've got those 3 options basically. So I think that would have been the better option on that turn 4 and get me an extra 2 points. And if I had done that, it would have been a 13-7 instead of a 16-4. 14-6, which is in a 5-round tournament, that might be the difference between, you know, getting in the top 10 or not. And when we're talking about Masters points at big tournaments, it's important that you score as many points as humanly possible. But again, if it was a win-loss draw, just would have been a loss. Major loss, there would have been nothing else to it. And it would have been basically a wipe, which doesn't encourage you to do, you know, to play those games. And then finally, the other thing that I think I could have done well is, so when I charged the blue scribes, I could have piled in to not engage the pink horrors in combat. So I didn't, because I was in an attitude where I'm just like, oh, I'm just rolling dice at this point, but let's just have fun and roll dice and try and kill those pinks. Tactically, probably what I should have done, and I noticed this when I was watching it back, is piling the Solson Prime around so that he was no longer within 3 inches of the pinks. And then if I got the double, which I did, then he could have moved and tried to push into Kairos. And interestingly, I think he would have been able to push into Kairos because he can guarantee his charge with his ability to just charge 12, and so he could have gone over the top of the pink horrors and gotten into Kairos, which again probably wouldn't have changed anything, but you know, you're then fighting against Kairos, you're not fighting against pinks. The pinks are not the thing you want to be fighting in that list, but when there's 60 plus of them, you don't really have a choice and you can't retreat from them. So, and that meant that if I could have done that, then I probably would have been able to get models onto the center objective, which would be important in turn 4. And I would have had 7 compared to his, I think he had 6 maybe on the objective, which again is of course important in the grand scheme of the game. So yeah, those are my thoughts. I think Corey played well. Obviously he forgot that one battle tactic, and I made a point to tell him that he couldn't backtrack and move it again, because he is the master and he needs to be on top of his game, and he's going to go represent this country playing overseas. And so I decided to push him during that game and see if that would cascade into, because you need to know how you play under stress, and I was wanting to see if that would make him cascade into further bad decisions, but he recovered perfectly, which is good, and that's what a master should do, and he should be able to push through that, and he did, and of course that was never going to change the outcome of the game. It might have made it a 15-5 instead of a 14-6 instead, so didn't really change a whole lot. And yeah, it was a good game. It showcased the strength of the Tzeentch list. I think it showcased a little bit of the strength of my list, but you know, that matchup is poor and that scenario is probably poor with Tzeentch as your opponent, because I don't have a whole lot of things I can put on that center objective turn 4 and 5. So yeah, I just thought it was interesting, and I thought I would record my thoughts after the game. So thanks very much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.